Hello and welcome back. This is Hambbage of Hambage's Hardcore Minecraft, and we are about to start another video. Glad to have you with me. Hope it all enjoys. In this play session, I'm back a lot more later than I'd expected. Kind of took a break, was away from the computer for a while, and planned to get something to eat. Get outside. It was snowy and cold overnight and bright and sunny for a while, and enjoyed all that. Came back hoping that one of the early videos from today would be ready to go, and was sad to see that it was not. It seems that YouTube processing is taking a while. It's uploaded, but whatever their copyright checking is running, as it says, longer than expected. I don't know exactly how all that plays out or when it may finish, if that is going to have to be redone or not, but I got tired of waiting, so we'll find that out down the road, but in the meantime, we can't be slowed. Here we go, back into El Cano. I'm not sure exactly what I'm going for there, but as with previous worlds, we're going to have a little bit of a theme on this one, and I think for some it may become immediately apparent. Again, you don't need to Google just yet unless you think you have a guess. You'll figure it out pretty quickly, but it's something that just caught up with me a little bit today, really, and was right up my alley, but also was a little surprised there wasn't more of a to-do around some of this currently. Maybe there will be in the days to come. So keep an eye out, see if that rings any bells as we go through the week and days to come. Anyway, we're still right here going as a reminder and refresh on what we've done in our recent interviews. This is our fourth world. We started it up in my real lifetime today, early today, and have been making some good progress after a tragically sad and quick start on our Hondo world, which didn't make it very long at all. So that was a bummer, but those things will happen, and hopefully not as often if I make fewer mistakes or take fewer risks, as the case may be. So we'll definitely try to be a little more cautious. We've gotten another strong start going here, and we just kind of jumped right into the downstairs. Just towards the end of the last episode, we had two significant milestones. The first being that we popped out through a cave in that direction from the staircase we've been working on building upward. I know we ran down, but as opposed to the straight shot staircase style that we made in World 2, Susie and Nadine, this one is going to be kind of a zigzag. Just ran it again to take a look. We've done some nice floor decoration, but we are only in day 13 of this world, and some things are zipping right along. We have gotten quite a bit of iron and are cooking up quite a bit more, but we're woefully short on things like long-term food supply and treasure. Did just want to drop off this book. I realized I kind of dove back into it. I was so excited after the delay. I kind of forgot we were cooking some iron and our sword was low. So let's use these 20 pieces to get our tools reset. So as you can see, we had very recently just gotten our full iron armor. We still hadn't even made a shield, and we're a little limited on our peripheral tools. So we'll go ahead and net those out. We need to make food immediate, at least short-term food, an immediate priority. We're in better shape in that regard than we have been recently, because we just picked up both a carrot and a potato from some zombies that were coming out of a spawner, and we took care of them. We definitely are glad to have that potential to build up a experience or a zombie farm eventually, but that's still going to be a little bit off, and that was kind of how we wrapped up the end of the last episode, was getting the plan to push on down to a level 11 or diamond level, and establish our diamond mining operation among other valuables on that level, and then build in our zombie farm around it. So we still got a fair bit of work to do. Also, kind of in our intended plans are, for the short term, are either to do some pole fishing, which I guess we can go ahead and make while we're waiting here. If we can't find any salmon or cod, cod is not as desirable a fish as salmon, but it is potentially more likely here in our current environment. So that's kind of where we're at. I was just so happy to get back going. I think I dove in. I think we'll just keep pushing a little bit further. I want to get this established, was kind of what I was working towards. We'll need to take this down until we get to the landing on this floor, and make sure that all connects up. Now we can go through the outside cave entrance. That's certainly a good option, but I don't just want to forego the access that we've already established. Our pattern repeats. We get the layout and visibility here. We're going to go down one more stair, but we'll also come back too. So we've got a 7x7 square that we're building the staircase within. As you can see, one more row back under this landing to completely fill out that space. So we'll just keep plugging away at these while we wait for night to finish and while we wait for our iron to cook up. So very good progress. One note about that, you can see a little bit of light bleeding through on these, and that is something that we want to keep in mind when we're working around some of our farm constructions that are light level dependent. If you have stairs or half slabs, you can potentially get some light bleed, and you want to watch out for that, because that can definitely have a negative impact on some of your spawning. And while sometimes it may just be a visual glitch that's actually more of a legacy thing than a full-on impacted amount of light. Check your light levels as you're doing builds. When you see those little oddities, remember that if you're trying to make a completely dark room, to check for those exact same kind of things when you have torches on an exterior wall and are trying to limit the light within a space itself. So just a quick caution there. Sometimes those can get you and can leave you scratching the head. But here we go. They do, as much slower as this process is by its nature, it does move along decently well when we're continuing to just pick away at pick when we're trying to just keep making a little bit of progress here and a little bit of progress there. We do definitely move in the right direction, and this pick should finish up on us here, and then we'll be able to switch over, hopefully, and stay with iron for the rest of the time until we can get to diamonds again. So all signs that we're continuing to move in the right direction. We just don't want to do is work at the expense of possible progress getting our food. So here's what I was talking about early. When you get these deep walls, you don't. No mobs are going to spawn, even if it's dark in the air above you. If they don't have land to spawn on, not a consideration. And again, for anyone who may have missed the previous video, we don't. We have a doorway here that is securing our larger caves from our staircase. So we're pretty confident that we're not going to have things spawning and having access into our home. But yeah, I think we're pretty well lit up. Let's throw these stairs on the backing, and then get back up and see if it isn't towards dawn and we can't go try to secure some more food. I would also like to, now that we've got a minimal degree of armor and a little more security, just right back up to about where we were when we lost the Hondo world. Not quite there yet, but would like to, make a little run out into the desert, see if we can find any goodies out there. In other worlds, we've been very fortunate to have access to some villages and other traders or sources, whether they're broken portals, that kind of stuff, different resource points to help build out our world or get new tools and little jumps. It'd be nice to find some of those. You won't find them, I guarantee it, if you never go look. So on our way to try to find food, we may come across some goodies. Now we do have this one extra piece of sheep, mutton. I don't know, it is mutton as opposed to lamb. I think that's kind of the sensitivity, right? We don't want to talk about lamb or veal, and I don't know why with sheep. Well, I do know why. With with beef, it's still certainly a fairly tender and appealing meat to get good cuts of when you're going to be eating it. For sheep products, whether they be if you're looking to eat the meat of a sheep, when you eat adults mutton, it tends to be a fairly tough. Clearly, we have a missing block up here, by the way. Tends to be a fairly tough cut of meat. It gets a little bit chewy. I happen to like it. I don't get a ton of it here in the United States. We have so much beef available that you don't usually, if you just go to a grocery store, you don't find a whole lot of mutton available there. You can get lamb, and lamb is more commonly available through a butcher or whatever because it's more tender. Think again about veal if you've had it. Veal, obviously, and in recent years, what that I've seen gets that, the reputation for the veal boxes and some, really inhuman ways of treating the animals that makes, veal, lamb, obviously, from the young animals and harvesting them before they've had an adult life, and to keep that meat tender and not much more a softer fatty tissue than a tougher muscled tissue. They restrict the movement of those young cows, and those are the veal boxes that people may be familiar with. So there's some ethical questions there, and I'm not telling anyone what is or is not right or correct in terms of what you should eat. People have different religious, moral, dietary, all kinds of different needs that shape their diets. But all out and out, while I think you have your right to choose, I also think that we as a species definitely are omnivorous. We can eat, and our bodies have evolved to make the use of a wide variety of food sources. So I'm not going to say, that people have to be vegetarians. I'm not. I don't have any, other than my already stated, as I get older and hopefully a little wiser, desire to limit some things in my my diet and not put too much just junk in. I love to exploratory eat. I love food from different cultures, and I think that's one of the great perks of our modern world. It hasn't been all that long ago in a historical time sense that people didn't get the option to have a you know different kinds of meat. If your local community had a big cow farm, that was what you had, because that was what was around. If you lived in a region that happened to raise a lot of sheep, you were going to eat a lot of sheep in a lot of different ways. Insert Scottish haggis type stuff in Scandinavia. Insert the lutefisk type jokes. There, when you're living on fjords and tillable acreage is at a premium, you're going to pull a lot more of your life from the sea, or your livelihood from the sea. And while you may farm for cereals and things like that, when you're living, on steep rises towards the hills, and I've watched some of the, historical based fantasies about, Vikings and some of that kind of stuff, but I'm inclined to believe that, they certainly knew how to raise those crops that were well suited to their climate and their area. But it wasn't like they were living in Kansas and wide scale farming of grains and making that the bulk of their diet. They would have, I would imagine, used it to supplement. But you're, much like American Alaska today, big part of their industry when it comes to food crop type stuff is going to be sea based, because they have so much coastline, and the sea is so bountiful. You go from there. So nowadays we have refrigeration and freezing and the robust transportation to share not only the ingredients around more exotic foods, but also the ability of people to travel more freely, and the global migrations of people in search of better opportunities for their own individual lives. That says, over particularly for folks living in America, and I know this isn't unique to us. It's certainly happening around the world, but people that are finding life untenuous in other countries will make moves on behalf of their family, or their own fortunes, and say, I want to try life here. And if you grew up knowing how to cook and see that you have access to ingredients that will allow you to prepare your traditional foods, and then find that there's a market for them, all of a sudden you have a niche type restaurant or opportunity in a different culture. So insert the cuisines and styles of the British Empire coming back to Victorian England, and the early and growing presence of a Indian population from the Indian territories of the British Empire, and you get a lot of the wonderful curries, and some of the spiced and flavored dishes that you wouldn't particularly think of as British, but that the population have long enjoyed, because for a very long time, either, what people would think of as traditional English men who had spent long years raising families in India as administrators, would grow used to those, and their children were born and grew up there. They would come back and go, hey, you know what? I want some of the food I'm used to. I like all that stuff. And just in the same way, the individuals within India who became a part of the British bureaucracy would have a desire to educate their children and send them back to the UK for, education at college and that kind of stuff. So you got a real mixing of those two cultures, and I think those kinds of traditions certainly live on and are further strengthened in our modern world, which is awesome. I love that. Just as a random 21st century person in America, I just love that means, you can go down a street in a city, or you can order from any number of restaurants and get so many different types of food, that it's really a hidden gem that I don't think a lot of people give a lot of time to considering how new and novel that is, and how in the relative history of our world, those things just weren't possible not all that long ago. So anyhow, I didn't want to turn this one into another particularly rambly stream. We'll see if we can get it back online. But as you guys have all seen, we're just kind of quick running through a village here, trying to see if it's got any goodies other than the cats and a little bit of wheat. Wasn't anything too super spectacular, but we got beets, and that's nothing to complain about. So as usual, we'll look to get our bed down. Now there we go. We can get some grass seeds or some wheat seeds out of this garden and fill in the hole. There we go. So we won't leave them with nothing. But again, very, very opportunistic in the sense that we've once again gotten a pretty full complement of future crops already at this point. It's on us to put them in the ground and raise them. And we'll accomplish that eventually. This also, while difficult, because remember, we're back that way. Oh, don't run into the cactus while you're looking at the village and off into the distance. Generally not a real bright idea. I just want to get our... I kind of hate to say it, but I kind of got lost coming across the desert. There's the savanna we came from. So what? North. Is that right? Is that the way we came from? Oh man. Let's see. We want both numbers to go down. So yeah, that is where we got from. We got to go back around this little sprawl to accommodate. Ooh, there's a temple. All right, we all know what to cautiously hope for here, and that is not to die. Sure, we'd like a enchanted golden apple, but we much more importantly would like to not get killed. Now, further complicating that is the fact that this particular temple seems to have half been buried in the sands of time. And we'll just knock things down a little bit. Now we could just dig in there and drop through the floor. This is going to be the main front entrance. What all this really means is this particular temple is going to have a really good chance of having some meanies in it. We don't like meanies particularly. Next step for safety, drop as much of this in advance as we can. And sometimes they go pretty predictably. Other times, not so much. But this, has a little more of that early 20th century, late 19th century Egyptologist feel to it, where the ruins aren't just sitting out there for you to walk into. You kind of got to do an excavation and, dig them out. Again, this has a much higher risk factor because there's so much dark enclosed space. And remember that we haven't been upstairs to deal with any of that. So we want to be thorough. If nothing else, I hope our previous lessons have taught us that. But now we know with a good degree of confidence that we don't just have creepers forming right here. I'm still concerned about them dropping on my head. We're probably expanding the amount of time that this takes by maybe being a bit artificially thorough, but man, I got another good world. I don't want to just constantly start over again. I'd like to see one of these, at least into some later game content. Man, we've only sniffed the nether once. And again, for anyone that may not have caught my mea culpa at the beginning of World 3, the short-lived and temporarily enjoyed Hondo world, we discovered that there was no video evidence to indicate that I was crouched on the edge of soul sand. I just straight up took a digger into a hole that I had made to lava. And that was not my proudest moment. Clumsiness is not a good survival attribute in the world of Minecraft. So be aware of that and try to be a little bit cautious, me. It's all about sharing the wonders of the Hambbage with the audience, not making the Hambbage pitiable for its quick and illustrious ends. So here we have returned back down to the same temple format that we found before. This is good to see because as we go in, we don't want to become super vulnerable to anything in that cave system below. And if we try to grab out the TNT, if we even have room, that could become a problem. Man, what? Where was I? I'm very concerned about Shovel. I want to enjoy these. I've already inadvertently opened 2 chests. All right, we've done this one. Let's try to make heads or tails. We just went and got a bunch of sand, so I don't think we need to really focus on that yet. Of anything, the sandstone would be the most appealing. We definitely want the apple. I definitely don't care about the pressure plate at this point. And when and if we find a real need for pressure plates, we'll have plenty of access to them. Now, depending on how full we get, we may end up throwing back zombie flesh or something, but we'll just fill the stacks at the moment. We can also recoup a little bit of space just doing that, and we won't need seeds, but none of that yet. We had wanted the gold, and we've already got the flesh going, so we'll take that, and we get some emeralds out of the deal. All in all, not too terrible. So we'll drop the seeds, take the emeralds back. Now, we've gotten that can always go if needed. The oak logs can go. I think 1 sapling for all the gunpowder that's available is a good exchange. And let's not discredit the fact that we got a saddle there. I don't recall any specific horses or donkeys that we've encountered yet, but overall, they're a little more easy to find than the saddles can be. It varies world to world. Sometimes you have more than enough, more than you could ever use, and other times you're left to hunt for them. So now, once again, there was our village. That's our west sun, and I think this was how we were going back. We'll make tracks and hope that no, going in the completely opposite direction. But that means that this could be a new town. Is this right? This is the town we were in, right? There should be an empty little beet spot right here where we plucked the beets from. So I thought we had established. Hey, Golem. Now I think maybe we did establish that this was the way home, and that was so the temple kind of lies over in that direction. But yeah, this was we went around this ravine that way. This world definitely seems to offer lots of opportunities for ravines, and we can do some more delving. We've got one right in our backyard. By wind sprinting across the sand on the way home, I'm not making entirely good food choices as I go here, but time's money, as they say. So we'll eat our pork chop. We're going to sleep. We don't want to take on a bunch of monsters just yet. Out in the open. Certainly, the way our zombies set up was very fortuitous. That allowed us to manage large numbers of them coming out of the spawner without any real harm, other than we used up a sword pretty quickly. So, yeah, that's called picking the terrain for your battles, and we did it pretty well. I just do hope that it seems that we just got to cut all the way across the savannah again. It's seeming like a lot longer way back, but I'm fairly certain they were both double-digit numbers in our spawn coordinates. And I'll get over here and find that this isn't home, and I've misremembered having started off the 2 different worlds, but I'm pretty sure we're now skirting, and that's the last kind of savanna hill that we see, and that our little wooded edge will be over there, I hope. Otherwise, we'll just expand our circle until we find our way back. Yeah, I think I remember that all these flowers were ones we saw in our earlier sheep hunt. And I'm going to take all these again. I say I'm going to take them all. We got to choose. We'll not take the 2 pieces of oak. We want to keep that tree farm going, and we want to have loads of flowers out there to hopefully encourage some bees to come and settle amongst the new trees that may grow. So the problem with all these biomes is we could still be certainly off course, and I'm just saying, oh, I recognize these because all savannas have little poppies as their common flowers. And we have a savanna on the other side, but I think, again, using the little angle, I think some of our home trees are back over that way. While we're out here, we've got a couple pumpkins already. Let's just pad those numbers a little bit. So while we didn't yet directly supplement our food supply, except the bread, that's a nice thing to have already in hand. And those 7 pieces will get us enough to do a little fishing. Now that we have plenty of iron, we can also, just like the stairs, I'm not looking to go non-stop, but we'll kind of do a similar methodology, I think, to our original wheat farm in Susanna Dean world, and that is, use what could become a cow or chicken pen, grow some wheat in it first, get enough to make a whole stack of bread, and then from that we can switch back over and start focusing on some better foods. And we do have this river, and hopefully this river may be one that has a few salmon pockets in it, or we can just fish and see what we can catch the slow way, the old-fashioned way. And we need to fish at least a little to get the advancement among other things, and also to stockpile away some puffer fish. So those will all eventually be very good things. It's another cave we can eventually go plan. Probably all of these are a little bit interconnected. We've already seen the torches we placed from our staircase cave, so pretty good little wander. Accomplished some of our nice goals, and we definitely came back with enough treasure to say it was worthwhile, I think. So, wins. And we probably want to hold on to that, but until, and as always, we'll belabor not having it rather than actually carrying it around. These are all wools, and I'm going to keep this light gray wool because we talked about it, but I kind of think a light gray bed in the midst of that colors might look pretty decent. So let's go and whip one up. I think we've gotten to the point where a traveling bed and a at-home sort of permanent bed would be okay. Maybe over here. Let's put it there. And maybe drop in some chests or something for our swords. I don't know. Not blown away, but not repulsed either. it's nice to have a bed down that's here, and we can just know it's here and carry that one as we need it. We don't need the book to carry around. We don't need the saddle to carry around. We'll, having gotten some extra wool now, we'll put the shears away. And let's make some more logs and sticks. So now we can be full up on torches and pretty full on wood. And we don't need to carry around the granite. And torches. Oh, and we don't need to carry those arrows either. This is not the last world. We could have a bow now. I should combine that string. And now, once again, we're in the good position of when we do have enough arrows, we can make a bow. But 9 to me feels a little bit like an invitation for trouble. That's just enough to begin relying on it and then find you've run out. And so we'll go as is. Now I'm pretty liberally just making up replacement tools. We've got enough iron to justify it, and having these, I think we can use up our remaining stone tools and then push on to more iron underground. So all in all, pretty good wins. Now I know we've still got a little bit of daylight, but we'll just use that and let it go into nighttime as well. Make some, hopefully, pretty good progress on our stairway project. Now that we have iron, we're going to clear a little bit quicker, and before we know it, maybe not quite, but not too terribly long, we should be down to our lower levels. Maybe we'll give a Y level check once we get done with this next section of stairs. So, and remember, we don't want to get stuck. Whatever level we're working on, stuck is bad, so we'll avoid that. These 2 torches, like the last ones on the opposite wall, are going to get eventually lowered down quite a bit so that they're at head height at the bottom of our current stairs that we're building. And then we'll do another couple on the sidewall, just staggered along our stairs. We will need to probably loop back upstairs for more end cap, as we use on both the underneath and the actual stairway part of the steps. But as we go, that's one thing you do want to kind of keep an eye out, is you don't want to get stuck at the bottom and find you've used up what stairs you do have and can't get out of the hole you've dug. So just keep an eye. Again, just like our original rooms dimensions, once you've got a side at 2, you can just push forward to the full 5 and kind of go around the edge from there, and just keep clearing them out level by level, watching for holes below you. It can get a little bit tempting to just lose yourself in what you're clearing and not look below your feet, and send you for a little tumble that nobody wants. And just like that, we're getting down to it, but you can see as we go, it becomes pretty imperative that we start finding some more iron, because we've already chewed down a pick pretty thoroughly, and we'll continue to play the combined game. We don't want to just waste any of that. We still have a pretty decent supply behind us, but always want to be looking at where's the next stuff coming from. Until once we've got stacks and stacks, then we're really looking more towards diamonds than just more iron. So by the time you have enough, you don't need it anymore. It's kind of how it always goes. But while the cave of this has made it entirely worthwhile, and just having a nice bit of variety on our descent. I think we had done that on the last flat level. This was our opposite. They were at a half, and yeah, right at 2. So good there. And we'll switch out that one. These will be halves. These will be halves. And then we'll be on. Let's just switch these back to the order it had them in originally. Oh man, what? Stop splitting. It was a relatively recent update, I believe, that started that. It's one of those things that's an ease of life, but can actually, in my playstyle at least, kind of works backwards on me. Where you can intentionally split a stack by hitting right in between the two. But I find, it's not reliable enough to do that with any regularity, at least for me, and it just really becomes more of a pain in the backside than, if I want a split stack, I know how to make the stack split. What do I need a shortcut that's more often than not gonna apply itself when I'm not looking to use it? One of those kind of deals, but it's a nitpick, and certainly not a barrier to me playing this great game. That's for sure. No, my main barriers come from lack of forethought or lack of caution as I'm running around and putting myself in situations where I can either get blown up or burned to a crisp. So neither of which, unless we want to, just say that the whole game scenario is the developer's fault, but I don't think that's quite fair either. I love the potential for danger all the more. So as you can see, we're now getting quite a number of flights established. Very good. We'll just go ahead and reset our stacks of steps. And we've still got we're not obviously not using nearly the half slabs that we are the stairs, so we should be pretty good on those. And like I said, you can kind of alternate so that you're just back and forth with the mouse as you go. And I find that helps just making a bit, if we just went around and around this space, for me, that becomes a little more tiresome. Now, this is where these can get a little more challenging. We got a large empty space below, and it's not terrible. Oh. it's trying though. Boy, we'll earn it here. This one may get a little bit more combat-y. We've got limited food, so best to just run and see. I hope we have a good supply of torches. Um, I want this as absolutely lit as possible, as quickly as possible. It's unfortunate that it's cool. Don't get me wrong. I think this cave looks great, and look forward to exploring it. But having it right on the periphery of our staircase is a bit of a challenge. Now, the sound of that spider made me a little cautious. Um, in this scenario, we don't really want the water. It's going to be washing mobs towards us instead of away, for one thing. And it also keeps us from torching as effectively. So we'll just dry it up. That looks like where we were maybe just above when we were creating some of the tunnels up above us. Yeah, interesting. Okay. Well, now that's safer. I think here was. So our spawning room is right there. These are our steps again. Interesting. Just very, very tangled and connected set of caverns. We could certainly seal that back up again. I don't think that they need to be connected. Um, but the main deal is the game was pretty kind to us in the sense that it didn't just have a whole pack of creepers sitting right there. Worth checking while we're down this way. We still got so far to go. Oh my goodness, that was not the. I was like, oh yeah, maybe we're getting close. Man, look at that. We can see sky. This may connect up to our ravine. Actually, I'm guessing is exactly that's the ravine that we found on day one and looked down on. There's the little tree. Oop. So, as anticipated, those all kind of connect, and that helps to show just how far we still have to go in our staircase to get down. But the good news is, because we're always looking for the good news, I think we've got a pretty safe and secure part here for our further step thing. The only drawback is I don't think we saw any iron when we were clearing that out quickly. We'll double check it all just to make sure, but that would have been a extra nice bonus. But we'll take the coal. We'll assume that skeleton sound is. There's some iron. Good. And just like when we were looking for diamond picks, or diamonds, but diamonds to make picks, as long as we're netting even with what we're consuming, we can maintain this iron use almost indefinitely. It's pretty maintainable. You don't need to find a ton of iron to keep you going. Just as enough to be consistent with your the amount of picks that you're actively using, And if you can avoid, again, putting the stairs upside down, that's a big help. And we'll probably have to do some jump stick in here to get everything up, which with the half slabs and the, okay, so that's at 3. This is our 2 behind the stairs. We don't really want to fall, but I'm more concerned about making sure that our established footprint stays consistent. So we're good there. How much room we get to play with on any of these is a little bit up in the air. Let's try to get on this ledge. Let's go ahead and get the dirt out of here. I'm not wild about cobble, everyone knows, but I'm less wild about walls of dirt. So just frame this out a little bit more, and we have stairs 2 over, so I think from there we may have to get over 1 more on our backside. Come on, line up. To finish out that wall, but once again, we aren't completely failed. Okay, so once we get to the bottom of these stairs now, we can just stick full blocks on the side. We're going to go with the regular old cobble there, and we'll want to clear that eventually, but this is our half slab edge. And let's maybe think about doing that here. Definitely will swap out the iron, and I'll replace any of that again that I need to. Just a little bit concerned with making sure that we have all the... So yeah, we do want to go 1 more here. So this is our back wall, and if that's our second torch, then we got 2. That makes this the edge of our stairs. All seems to line up. So, and I'm using a bit of excess cobble to accomplish this, but I'm okay with that. I think it's well spent to not have to be doing it at every turn of the stairs. Just frame it out and call it good. So we're going to have access off this corner. Let's go ahead and do the steps on this side. I'm really not as down with this random Minecraft music coming through when I've got the volume on it so low. I don't understand that part exactly. We do have our understairs all the way to our level, which is good. This is set to be cleared. I know this is probably not the most of entertaining commentary you've ever heard, but I would prefer to avoid mistakes like running stairs an extra 2 sets of blocks that really are transition. I was distracted by the coal, alright? It's my story, and I'm sticking to it. So, we will have cobble, 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 cobble. What I want here is to have access out to this side of the cavern. Again, cobble, slab, slab. Torch. Torch. Step, step, step. Slab, slab. Gotta get that pick here in a second. Slab, slab. Get the pick now. Step. And dirt, dirt, dirt. So holes don't present insurmountable obstacles, but they're not ideal, certainly. And we do just want to, before we get too far below and having our little pillar spot here, maybe we'll just try to make use of it to first clean up and then finish our stairs underneath. I think we'll need 1 or 2 more hops here to reach. Then always one. Well, that we can reach. The good news is, with a hole, well, that slowed us up on our progress a little bit. The opposite is going to be true now that we are just quick filling back in. So I do need to clear those. Let's do this here. These so we can get over. These here. Here. Boom. More torches. Fill in that dark spot. We have a torch there. Boom. Now we got access all the way back into this cave, which we'll clear up anyway and probably never use to connect backsides of the staircase, but we got it if we need it. Next stage. Remove this coal. Finish out the wall. And call that one good. Slabs in here to half our turnaround. Now we'll need stairs instead of blocks. But are we right to do that? This is the bit that gets just a hair tricky when we don't want to overchop our next flight of stairs down. before we're really ready. So it's going to be here, here, and there. Good. Here, here, here. Good. Here, here. Here, here. We've also got to get those caught up. And we can just trim to do that. So, yeah, just a little extra thought as we go. Make everything nice and uniform and pretty anticlimactic little transition between cave and stairway. And now we just have endless more turns of the stairs. That doesn't seem right at all. When these go away, just missed. Boom. Another drawback of this shield is, not quite as clear a view of what's below your feet. Excuse me, little yawny. When it randomly introduces that music, despite the volume levels, it sounds so quiet when it goes away. I think the other thing that's it's kind of getting me. It's early evening. It's not super late by any means, but I'm gonna leave that for now because we're going deeper. As we get a little later in the day, and it's kind of dusk type time, and it's been bright and beautiful. It was chilly certainly this morning, and now what have I done? One too many here. Got too excited about this iron, and I wanted to get it. That goes here. Boom, 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 boom. Wow. How many times can we miss? I think part of that is catching the edge of the stair. You can just bounce yourself a little bit. So again, here this was our half side. It always seems like I'm coming back to those more quickly. So here's our access out into our cavern. I just, again, want extra light anywhere that's coming around here in particular. Don't mind burning a little coal just to keep us safe on our stairway. And ultimately, we can fill in all those little access points. It's not like once we've yanked out all the iron and coal and everything, we're going to be repeatedly coming back to here. We've kind of exposed everything it's got, right? It's got a little tendril there and it goes up to the ravine. Having it lit, though, will doubly protect us from anything that may decide to rain down out of here on our later expeditions to this ravine. So, good. Now, I don't think we went all the way through a day cycle just in our hole filling there, so it seems kind of like we moved pretty quickly. Alright. But we've got slabs. We got some dirt to move. gets at these kind of points where you're like, why haven't I already switched to the shovel? Slabs. And once again, we've rounded a corner that will let us pick up another section. So, holes are fun. They at least break up the monotony a little bit, but this is, I don't think, exactly anyone's definition of riveting gameplay. Another cave. Just saying holes are good. That's helpful. I didn't know how far that was going to go. It doesn't tie directly to what we've just done. I guess this is the end of our dirt, so we'll shovel till she's gone. Man. Ooh, that might... No, it's more dirt. Dang it. May as well get our stairs set. Still safe from the hole there, which is good. I would like to set these two. I think that was just random as we were exploring the hole last time around. I'd like to get those set. We'll combine these. And if that last one went smoothly, that means we're due. I don't even know which. This is going downhill, so let's see if we can swing uphill. Oh, this is safe at least. Let's see if anything comes our way while we grab this iron. I mean, it's always got a sword or a shield, and I just don't even make use of it. So, good stuff on this end at least. And while I'm here, I'm going to go ahead and grab. Every possibility is that something could come back around from the other side, but we did push it a little ways, so it would have to go back past the past the stairs that we started on to come up and get us. And just an occasional look, we can keep ourselves a little bit secure. So just as a reminder, that's our egress in case we need to go running. Cool. Oh, that's trouble. I was just gonna say cool cave system though. It's digging it. As far as our, oh my goodness though, huge. All this is, kind of right around the base of our staircase. That further wing that we were just looking at isn't as much, but just reinforces that we have a lot going on around that ravine. Let's take that. Get a light up. I don't like this as a bridge over depths that I could get hurt in, and heights that things could fall on my head from. It seems like a good opportunity for things to go horribly wrong, in my experience. Man, oh man. Let's check this way first and make sure that there's no holes up there. This is home and safe. go here. Whew. For, not being... Oh my gosh, that almost killed me. Or not necessarily killed me, but put me in a whole bad world of hurt. Can we just chill a little bit, cave? Hambbage doesn't want to die again today. Done it. Been there, got the t-shirt. But even while I'm, seeing that and a little concerned as we light this up, the game is being... I don't know if kill counts or anything like that, or numbers of previously spawned mobs play in, but having already dealt with that zombie spawner at a level 22, but relatively early in the game, does that then let the game know, hey, this particular run is a little mob kill heavy already. Let's lighten it up. I'm not sure, but I'm getting that feeling, certainly, as we go. So this is back towards home. We're just methodically inching our way forward. And when you have these big mergers of lots of rooms, always something. And we talked about it right before I died, and it didn't end up being exactly that. But when I see floors of gravel like that, I always at least try to take one block out just to see, will that make it all fall? If it does, we know. Okay, we came in and down through those steps, so we've still got lots. Now we got gravel here too, and we have to be careful as we get that iron out that doesn't come down on our heads. As much as I've done a good job of touring the stupid ways to kill yourself in Minecraft, I think we'll try to avoid that, for gravel being one of the many. Oh, now I really just take back out my... See, those are the kind of things that will subtly put you in a big world of trouble. So now we're back to our hole. We need torches, and we need to cook the rest of this iron. So we'll just pop back up. Ooh, Wandering Trader or Pillagers. Hey, guys. Maybe that's why less was spawning around. Whoa. I think that was chest sound, but it sure did give me pause. I thought they were coming right on in. I was like, I didn't know Pillagers could open doors. I don't think I'm cool with that. Them just barging in. I think we'll go deal with them, but we're going to do it on our terms, not on theirs. So, we've got... What I'd like to do is just let them in one at a time. Because with the crossbows, the reload time is not the same as skeletons. The trick, though, is... Yeah, I saw it fall. What? Didn't you guys see that enchanted crossbow go? Here you go. Not real happy about it either. Okay, come on in. Okay, that was our banner. So now we've got the curse. We'll definitely whip up a new bucket and... Ow. Yeah. Get him. So yeah, let's go make a bucket, drink some milk, find a cow. There's a few of them wandering around out here. I hear one, so she's willing to give us a little sip of milk and get us free of that curse. I think is it voluntary exile? Is that what just flashed out? I think that's what it's called. Which is, kind of ironic. It's sort of fitting. You didn't have to kill him, so you're being a bit of a volunteer. Oh, and I guess we're just gonna look at it, and then I was like, oh, I can refill my bucket of milk if I just drink it. I think it is called voluntary exile. Is the curse, and it will display a duration of XX.XX. It's long. It's like either 75 or 120 real life minutes. Something long. You're going to carry it for quite a while. So if you got any plans of going to a village or potentially encountering a villager, pretty good idea to get it taken care of in advance. Raids are awesome, they're fun, but until you're ready for them, they can be pretty deadly, frankly. You have the mounted pillagers or illagers. I'm not sure which ones are which necessarily, but they take a lot of damage before they start getting real hurt. And you have the just putting away a few little treasured items here. That's our first banner. Well, we may use those to decorate maybe somewhere downstairs or something. You get one for each time you get that voluntary exile status, you're going to get another banner. So usually you end up with whole displays of excessive banners just piling up, and certainly I'm sorry for bumping the mic there. Definitely ones that you don't know what to do with, and just having chests full of empty ones. You can ultimately get rid of them if you want, but I don't know, I like hanging up at least a few, and you can get some big walls without much else to put on them. There's paintings and all that you can definitely do in Minecraft, so you can get some art. And we may do that, and certainly, color patterns and geometric designs and things you're free to do just with the building materials in the game. So you can do a lot to decorate. You can also frame, and you can name some of those, historically significant type items. My first stone sword kind of deal. You can name it, give with the name tags that we could give it a name and hang it up in a frame on the wall and display it that way. So it's another way to store some of those kind of things. Just do be aware when you're working with the item frames like that. You can introduce some lag to your world. The more and more you start hanging up, those items all get loaded as entities into the game. So, I use them to identify what I have in storage chests. And you can get, dozens and dozens of them before you really start running into any kind of an issue. So if you're a little bit selective about how you do it, it's still a perfectly fine way of identification and stuff. If you start to have problems, just use the item frames to use things you really want to look at, and you can use signs, to name what you have in bins and things like that. Signs will not carry that same overall load on the game engine because there's no item that, those aren't entities that are being displayed out there, even if they're in frame form. So that's just something to keep in mind as you get started on a little more decorative thinking. You can avoid some of the hang-ups that slow people down when they do that by just managing how often you're using the frames. So we've come out very nicely on the level ground for this particular cave, and we'll just knock this back, put in the alternate floor, and then frame that up so we can get some more torches up on that end. We're just pressing down into the depths. Get this one misplaced stair out of the way. Flip these. And cover up these. And we're almost there. So again, big blocks, and then we'll do slabs in between. And that's going to make for a one higher door frame, because if we do want to get into this cave system, which again this one we haven't even fully vetted out, and if we don't want to duck, then we'll have to just have the door be 3 high instead of 2, which no big thing. What it may kind of require something like that, I think, for our torches. They, technically they'd be one more out in the wall, but I think that looks okay. Now, of course, this will send us back up for more slabs, of course, but maybe not before we do the dirt walls here. It was one thing when I was just using up stone shovels to move dirt. Now, you got me using up tools just so I can put cobble in place of dirt. Not cool, man. Alright, and we should still be 2 back of our slabs. We are. We fill in the wall, and we're good to keep digging. I don't feel threatened here, and I don't see anything that's particularly dark-ish. So I think we're good. Let's pop this level out, and then we'll run up and get some more slabs. I think those will end up still needing to be moved. Not really final spots, but near enough. Always makes me want to make the whooshy sound when I go up the curvy stairs, as opposed to the straight stairs where I just kind of zone out and think about who knows what while the climb goes. So now we got way too many slabs. Never gonna need all these, but we'll keep the 2. Those will combine pretty quickly. And we're going through stairs at a very steady rate, though. Alright, ready? Whoosh along with me. Whoosh! Whee! Alright. Again, aside from all these holes, I was really thinking, we'd be close to checking our levels and seeing how close we were to 11 and getting excited about it. Um, each of these steps were only at best getting the same vertical descent that we had with, when we're doing just the straightforward thing and we go out and then, do the 3x5 thing and then carve it all out. That's same amount of depth. We just spend a lot less time prettying up as we go. The trade-off being that unless we decide we want to do something with the walls in here, which we may, we certainly may, there won't be any ceiling type work that's undone. As you recall from the Susanna Dean second world that we had, we were constantly looking at the irregular, just unfaced bottom blocks of our stairs, and not exactly the look I was going for. So there's a certain comfort in not. Where did I lose a block? Am I just one too many? 3, 2, 2. I don't know. Making this harder. Alright, now, come on. Pick. And a part of this, is we just got to pay our dues to catch back up from where we had been, and foolishly let ourselves get in a position where we could die. That's on me, and if I don't want to be stuck doing these kinds of projects, take a little bit more care as we go through the world. So we will endeavor to keep alive without totally avoiding risks. Because face it, the thrill of near death is part of what makes this a game that you actually want to play. If it was hardcore Minecraft farming, and don't get me wrong, I appreciate that we've done a lot of that, but if it was purely will it rain to water our crops and nothing ever came out at night except some bats to eat up the mosquitoes, we probably wouldn't come back a whole lot. And I say that in full knowledge of, farming simulator and some of those kind of things do surprisingly well. I know that there's a lot of people that enjoy some of those simulation type things that may not have a whole lot of risk or adventure, combat or danger, that kind of stuff. So it's preference when it comes down to some of those kind of things. But personally, even though we're in hardcore, and even though sadly the second world in particular was due more to a derp than any kind of combat or real, obviously lava is a real danger, but it wasn't like some of the creepers that have just come up on me and either overpowered my defenses or caught us off guard. So I'm not just gonna hide in the cave and try to avoid that. Like with our little raiders there, we went outside and faced them. We punched them right in the mouth. We also, before we really knew that was a spawner we were dealing with, we slow played the zombies that were coming and made sure we took full advantage of the hill that or staircase that was blocking us from them, and they couldn't just all come at me at once. So yeah, we're going to use advantages. We're going to try to be safe and smart about it, but we're going to get in there and mix it up. Stand our ground, or maybe stand their ground for them. Show them that what had been their ground is going to be our ground. So we shall. Alright, we needed a torch over here. Boom. We can just keep on turning, I think. Steady progress. That's what we're going to do. Ooh, and look, we got some more iron coming. Should we just do a check, see? It's coming. It's coming, guys. We're going. Remember, we're well above 63 at our base height, so much like in the Suzanne the Dean world, we added a level degree of difficulty. The judges are going to give us full points for that, because we didn't just take the easy from sea level down dig. No, we built a tower and then dug down in the middle of it. Or the tower was already there, but they don't need to know that. Take credit. So, two more back from our 5. 1, 2, 1, 2. Around the corner, I hear some more friends. We probably got another hole coming. Always fun. I think this is 4 more in this direction. As we hear those sounds, we just kind of want to watch out, make sure that we don't have a hole opening up right around us. Usually that's a sign of that iron that we just grabbed over underneath that staircase. Oh, hey, underground, and you got iron just in the place where you're digging. Well, that probably means a pit's going to open up underneath it. Get ready. It's worth it. We like all of the iron. Again, even if these picks seem to go, think about how much longer we're getting to use them than we would be if they were still stone picks. So all in all, this is very good fortune. We'll cheat these forward. Again, extra little look when it's a little more dark, to make sure that we don't have a hole right under our feet. I'm not going to forget that lesson until the next time it kills me from the lava plunge. But yeah, we will try to look before we leap or slip off the edge of a rock. Everybody know the pattern now already? And boom. Another one done. More torches, more side light. All of a sudden it's bright and sunny again. And we may be teetering close to the brink of the 20s on levels. So we've got work to do still, but it's coming. Largely, at the moment, ignoring the night-day cycle, which is probably pretty stupid, because we're down to 3 pieces of bread and we have skeletons around. And how did we start off this episode saying, oh yeah, we really need to deal with food? And we bought ourselves a brief little bit of security and then just went on about this digging project. But knowing that not only do we want to get down and get diamonds, we also want to drop that tunnel for our zombie spawner. We've got lots of incentive to get this done now, and with all the iron that we came out of that with, I'm kind of okay to keep pressing a little bit, just until we kind of get down to level, or we've already gone back up and resupplied a couple times on our steps and our slabs, but that's an advantage of the iron is, in theory, you should be able to work more uninterrupted and not have to just continually grind to get the tools that you need. And so far, that's working out pretty well. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and there we go. I think I started this episode by saying it was a little longer pause. I don't know why, and it's not a huge deal because I do like to schedule out. I look at my clock. I wonder what made me think of this. It is exactly the time that I think World 1 video, or Episode 1 of this world. No, maybe. I can't recall if the one episode world got loaded earlier today, or if that's the one that was scheduled and going up. One of them is going up right now. It's 8 p.m. on the 20th, and that may well be the video that just went live. But I was going to say, part of what threw a little break into my routine today, a little longer break than I planned, was the file for my next video loaded fine, but there was a message from YouTube that the content checker was taking longer than usual. Please wait, kind of message. And I threw a quick Google out. I'm new, so I don't necessarily know what all the tricks are and some of that kind of stuff. I'm kind of at the mercy of just sitting there and waiting and hoping. I didn't find. It seems as though the current means that they're using to do checks for copyright infringement is relatively new, maybe a couple months old, maybe not even, maybe a month or so. And it makes sense that stuff's constantly evolving, right? With DMCA changes and being adaptive to what generates those types of issues. Wow. I guess maybe it's time for our food run. I can see why they're loading new versions, that kind of stuff, and trying to make those tools adapted, in each release to identifying and preventing issues, because as I understand from the streamers and content creators that I watch, everybody has recently, and it seems as though it's a little cyclical. Most things are, in business and commerce and all that kind of stuff. These things do run in cycles, where for a while, I don't even know enough about it, whether it's the actual production companies or whether it's legal entities that learn how to contest copyright infringement and can make a side buck on it, independent of, that was just brown dye, I think, not cocoa, but I'm going to double check it. Oh, and I can't because it's nighttime. I'm going inside. Bye, guys. Oh, I should get their leashes tomorrow. Sorry, too many things. The villager threw me off. It's his fault, not mine. I'm focused. we need to make stairs. That's what we're really here to do. But we'll make some more picks. We'll sleep and go on a hunt of food tomorrow. Thank you for the commentary, sir. But what I was trying to say is I don't know, how much of it is artists or production companies that own their rights that see, an increase in blatant misuse of licensed material, and as a largely impartial, I know I'm currently creating these, but it's not my career. I'm not doing, it's a hobby, and I'm going to be, slow to, if ever, try to, plumb the depths of, I really need to have some background music that's playing over my voice, and through it all, I'd love to have something to go on breaks, if I do need to step away, or, something calls me, and until I really get comfortable with it, cutting that down, or if I'm streaming, have some limited music that I can just fill in the dead air with. You always want to have a little bit of something, but for that it doesn't take that much. You can bang out a few notes that are your little twiddling on a digital synthesizer and record it, and your fans may heckle you a little bit for not being a great artist, but it doesn't matter. It's filling the need, which is if somebody happens to stumble into your stream and you're taking a sip of your drink, or you had a call or somebody knocked on your door and you had to step away, that lets people know, it's not just dead air. In radio, that was always the sin. You cannot have dead air on your station, because if people are scanning the dial, they'll just keep on going and they'll miss you completely. That was, way back. That was the deal. Hang on one second here while I'm talking about it. I'm going to take a sip. Like that guy is. I hope his chugging of invisibility or anti-invisibility potion in the morning is good cover for myself. Not risking the late evening tea drinking or coffee drinking. I just went with the water right now. Last night when it was snowing, I between the couple of evening episodes that I recorded, I cracked a beer in honor of the snow. We got a tripwire hook was that first catch, full on junk, but hey, we got the advancement for fishing. Ooh, watch out for him. Anywho, we there's the advancement. I had a peanut butter graham cracker porter beer, which are really good. Good winter cold night, and it happened to be snowing and really cold out. It was perfectly fitting. I cracked it and had one sip out of it as I opened the stream, and then 2 hours later finished it when I was done, because I didn't even think about it the whole time I'm playing. Man, we do not have the fishing luck today. We've gotten a lily pad and a tripwire and one fish. This is why I call people crazy, but fishing hasn't really taken off as a massively popular. I'm glad to see him despawn. Massively popular mini game. But we'll sit here and get a couple. Either until my tolerance for boredom can't take it, until the day runs out, or until we get a puffer fish, whichever comes first. And in the course of that, if we get some cool little treasure, I'm down. Like bows, one of the things that we haven't yet in any of my playthroughs, but you can get enchanted fishing rods as you're fishing. And we saw them. I didn't really talk at any length about them in our efforts with the. Ooh, it was close. With the villagers, but it is um, Luck of the Sea and Lure are the two fishing specific enchantments that can get put on poles, and they're not exclusive. So the max fishing pole that you can have is a Lure 3, Luck of the Sea 3, Mending, Unbreaking, and I don't know that efficiency does anything. I think it's just the Mending, maybe either Fortune or Looting, but I think the between the Luck of the Sea and the Lure, those are doing what would be Fortune or Looting. So there's our puffer. Let's go back in here. We didn't get a ton of fish, but get enough to further our food. And when I say I don't want to punish you guys by fishing any more than you guys want to watch it, more than likely, I would definitely like to have food, and maybe we'll go a little more aggressively about it. Let's do one more. One more advancement while we're at it. Anybody guess what what we're about to go do? Can you guess, Wandering Trader Guy? We'll see if we can have any luck with this one. I'd also like to just focus our attention on this river a little bit and see if we can find the salmon hotspot. As previously mentioned, I don't know if those are biome specific, and I should have brought a boat to cruise up and down. I don't think this is deep enough for fish, really. Up here it's getting deeper. That's good. It's deep enough for squid. And, you know, if you can produce giant squid in a freshwater river, I think salmon might be okay. Much less cod. Sea fish, and I talked before, I'd love to see the tropical fish incorporated into either some kind of a advancement, or, you know, if I get it, not everybody's down with that, but if there's not, if they feel like they've got a wide range, then that would be too similar to some of the other advancements. Just throw the statistics or something. Make it a way that, without having to do a photo lineup of the different fish like I've found with the cats, just give an in-game way of saying, oh, look how well I'm doing on all the types of fish. It would keep you, give you a reason to swim the reefs. And now we'll see if we can. We got the water. Oh. This is much easier in a river than in the ocean. Oh, got him. Tactical fishing. Catch a fish in a bucket. Now, it was too bad that we didn't see anything in that river, fish-wise, and I wasn't too shocked, but I was hoping that would have been a strong food source for our current needs. A lot of bunnies. We could try with a bow. Bunnies are tough. We'd waste more energy running around trying to kill them with a sword than we would actually by catching and cooking them. So, not gonna go there. I'm not real ready to start. Start farming yet. We will. We did a lot of that. We got great results. And, I was hoping I'd make that. And I think that's that was noble of us. But we just keep our bucket of cod separate. I think it's kind of novel. Maybe he will eventually earn a name, and we'll build him a little fish pond, koi pond kind of deal. But Yeah, what I was trying to get to was having the potential for the zombie spawner and turning that around pretty quickly. And yeah, the staircase is not the fastest thing ever, but it's coming along. Yeah, it is. Don't you me. Um, that would kind of, be a different means to getting some of the tools more enhanced and getting us back to the nether without just having to repeat the exact same villager focus that we did in the last one. Eventually, obviously, we want it. The mending, we'll never, excuse me, we'll never get that. So, a lot of these things, we do have to do, but I am about kind of trying some different techniques as we go. So now, without that, what are we going to do for our food? Um, Short term, we could go on a big running safari style hunt. Did we ever see anything out this way? Land-wise, I'm just wondering, do we hop on a boat, shoot out into the ocean, and see if on a different landmass we can start finding cows, pigs, knowing that we have sheep and cows and pigs and chickens right here. If we were to go off into the distance, then anything we see is fair game, right? We can be very irresponsible and just harvest and kind of go on that old school Teddy Roosevelt style plinth helmet big game hunters style safari, and rather than cameras and in a sense of protecting their habitat, we just mow them all down like the American bison of the 19th century, and almost exterminate, except for the ones that we've got here. While it's kind of morally reprehensible, it would give us the advantages of exploring some more, and maybe we find a village on that ocean that would eventually lead to some more friends that we could get to more easily than the one desert village we found. I think that's... There we go again. We don't need to split 3 stairs between 3 different blocks, game. Okay, we got a little stock of food. We got some water. We got a bed. We also have our home bed that I don't think we've ever slept in. Let's use it. Oh. So we'll take a little... Well, real quick, before we head out on adventures. Microsoft notifications closed. We are almost at 2 hours, so we're going to wrap this one up. And then we will be set to adventure the next time. I think that's good. We've definitely made, while not earth-shattering progress, we took down some pillagers. Was the village in this one, or was that in the last one? I lose track. But if nothing else, this alone, it would take some people hundreds of years to really make a stone staircase this deep. It's down to 27, so just over 15 levels to go to be at our target. Just 10, and we're in potentially even snagging diamonds as we dig down, and then we'll be in the game of potentially grabbing diamonds as we set up a zombie farm. So I think next episode kicks off, and we head out into the deep blue wander, or deep blue yonder of the sea, and just go off that opposite coast and this opposite coast. Let's keep these directions west. So we're going to head west out across the sea, see what we can run into, what fun we can get into in an episode. It may be a very quick trip if we fill up. It may be extended if we, if the ocean is big enough, or if we um, don't find things to gather up quickly enough. We'll just turn around and keep following the coastline until we do. But we'll bring a spare boat. I think all our gear is in pretty good shape. Other than that, give it a once over. All pretty new. Um, so yeah, we're not going to overburden. We'll just head off and go. So that's going to be it for this. Let's roll up our thank you screen because I really do want to thank each and every one of you for watching. I hope you continue to enjoy, and if you do, why don't you consider bumping the like button or drop me a comment to let me know what you think I'm doing well or what you think I could improve on. Or if you just want to congratulate me for silly ways of throwing away worlds, I would take that too. Again, just so happy to see you guys out there tuning in, and hope you continue to do so. Enjoy, and we'll see you next time. This has been Hambbage. Have a great day. Bye now.